I am removing the friction disc on this Ariens snow blower, and oftentimes the wheels are very stuck on the shaft, so you need to remove them, grease them, put the bank in place. But if yours is stuck, you don't have to remove the wheels. Obviously you need to remove the pan first, then as you could see, I'll tell you details. Remove the left bearing. I'll tell you right away, you need to remove this clip. So you'll have to undo that clip on this side, don't touch the other clip. So you notice how I put my snow blower, everything that falls on the floor, not inside the impeller. It's much easier. Put just jack stands right there. Move the gear selector. You'll move it to the left fastest speed, which will move this fork. You can also disconnect that fork here if you want it. With the bearing free on this side, you'll have the gear. Sometimes you have a chain, just careful. There is the washer between the small gear and the wall. Be careful not to drop it. And then all you need to free is this kind of bearing from within the fork. So I can actually pose the hex shaft to the left. It's going to come out, and this frees the hex shaft. And you see, you should have enough space. At the very worst, you may want to deflate the tire, remove the tire, but I think you have enough space. Be aware, if you have grease here, try to clean it, because you are going to smear on the flywheel. So at least at the very end, just clean off the flywheel with some something that removes that grease properly. So it's all a wiggling here, a matter of finding a nail to pull the shaft out. Maybe like this, vertical, you'll find a way. I'm actually working one hand. You get the idea. This is your hex shaft, and then just try to remove your friction well. Remember which way it goes. Remember, this one stays to the right. When you loosen up a bolt, it's easier to put it on the left side and keep the ratchet on the right side. They're just a little bit difficult to rotate. When you install the new disc, place first with your left hand the disc alone behind the fork. Then with the right hand, insert the drive shaft. Perhaps you are going to find an angle like this. Try to rotate the hex shaft parallel to the flywheel and push it, insert it through that hole a few inches to clear this well here. And only then rotate the hex shaft to place it into the hole. At that moment, put the washer on it. Also put the two washers on the bearing into the fork. It's inside the fork, but put them only at the very end. Don't forget that clip. You need to press it with the pliers, and also pay attention not to put any grease. Wipe everything, and I will only grease at the very end where everything is back in place. Be sure to match the hose with your nail disc. The screws are anti-releasing. They have this kind of grip. This is a genuine replacement Ariens. You can see the difference in material. This one started to not move in the first gear, both forward and reverse. The higher gears were still moving. The first gear was no longer moving. The cable tension was properly adjusted. I'm going to replace perhaps with this Oregon, which is much more meaty. Look at the difference in material. Even I will compare it with the genuine one. It's clear that the Oregon has more material to it. And be aware that the majority of what you see on eBay, no matter what the seller is selling on the listing, those are fake ones. Fake items that will not last long enough. Even this one did not last a lot. Here, all the wear material, not even 5 years, and it needs replaced, because perhaps Ariens is using a much softer rubber. You see how soft it is? It's just too soft. It says it's smooth engagement. Well, this Oregon, it seems to be much harder. I just cannot depress it with my fingernail. It's impossible. But be sure to get a genuine one sealed in the pack with the number for your snow blower. There's 2 extra washers right here, so that fork sits outside these washers. These are 2 more things that may drop inside your impeller. These pins, open them wide. Just push it out like this. After you install back the hex shaft, don't forget to lubricate it on both sides because Ariens doesn't put grease. And then don't forget to wipe and clean with alcohol any grease from the friction disc and also from the flywheel surface, very important. And adjust the tension cable properly. Don't forget the 3 washers and the locking pin. My pan has 6 bolts, 2 on the rear, 2 on the sides. Careful with these clips so you don't lose them. Use a 10mm wrench ratchet, same for the side bearing, 10mm to reach it. This is about 10 feet-pounds.